no use in looking back. Gotta laugh or gotta live, 'cause I'm so over the past, and I'm living it fast. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like a drum. Let me be your only one. Feel what I feel. I'm addicted to that sound. Turn it loud, just make it play. When the love is all around, dream away with the music. Flying higher than the stars, we'll be dancing till the dawn. The night is young, so are we. So close your eyes and set it free. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like a drum. Let me be your only one. Feel what I feel. I'm addicted to that sound. Turn it loud, just make it play. When the love is all around, dream away with the music. I'm
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you are doing well. I took some time off over the weekend and yesterday because it was my birthday. And thank you so much to everyone who gave me birthday wishes. Much appreciated. So grateful for another year and grateful to be moving forward for another year of having created this amazing platform with such an amazing community. And something so interesting happened the other day. I was at an event for my mum's workplace, and there was a squaddy there. And I said to her, wait, do you know me like through my mum? And she was like, no, like I listen to you, I listen to Baron. And she actually recognized my face. And so straight away I thought, wait, did my mum tell you that I have a podcast? She was like, no, like I just recognize you. I listen to you and Baron. So thank you so much, that squaddy. That was amazing to actually meet one of you in person. And how weird is it that that person actually works with my mum? That is insane. And she listens to Baron as well. So if you're in here or you're listening on replay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sharon Chung. Much appreciated. Thank you, Jan Martin. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Valerie. And thank you to all of the members as well for your support, everyone who gives super chat, super stickers, and all of you for just showing up. I really do appreciate it. Hi, Trinette, how are you? Hi, Janet, Christine, Black Queen, hi. Hi, Connie. Hi, Chosen to be his. See who else is in the chat. Emilia Rodriguez, hi. Hi, official Lauren Brown, how are you? Gabby Essence, hello. Mama Jane. All right, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, everyone, and the subscribe button as well. We're almost at 12,000. So we can definitely get to 12,000 before the end of the week. That would make my birthday week. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you so much, Jan Martin. So this was actually taken at Sintra in Portugal. Oh my god, Baron did a video, a travel guide to Lisbon. I've only watched half of it so far. I need to finish it, but definitely go and watch it. I'm really loving his travel videos. So if you want to learn more about Lisbon and Portugal, I mean, you guys know how much I love Lisbon, Portugal. It is an incredible place. But this place right here is called Sintra, and it's about half an hour away from Lisbon, and it's where all of the ex-royal family, well, not all of them, but quite a great number of them, the castles are all in this area. So it's definitely worth the visit. And that was me trying to take a selfie that went really wrong, and then there was a really nice girl that came over and like helped me take the picture of my dress. Righty ho. So I've been away for a couple of days and quite a bit has happened. So let's get on with that. Oh, Francine, you received the travel book. Oh, that's fantastic. I hope you enjoy it and I hope you find it useful. The world is pretty much open again. Most of the countries have taken away the restrictions. So yeah, go grab the book and get traveling and I hope you enjoy it, Francine. Right. Let me just go to my slides. Okay, so it was Halloween. Did anyone go out? Did anyone dress up? I haven't dressed up for Halloween pretty much since what, secondary school? Which is weird because my actually no, I lie. There was once a couple of years ago, but it's weird. Like my birthday is the day after Halloween. I never really do like a big Halloween thing because I can never really be bothered. But I saw this really funny meme. It was Little Miss trick or treating before listening to a new Archetypes with Meghan podcast, and this costume of Pearl from SpongeBob, this one took the top trophy for me. Very creative. I think I saw one person. Was it Don Lemon? I forgot to get the picture, but there was one person who went as Meghan at the Queen's funeral. But in the United Kingdom news, let's get to this first. So Matt Hancock is going to join Boy George, Lever Atwood, and also Mike Tyndall in the jungle in Australia for I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. This has caused all types of controversies because first of all, Matt Hancock is, he's meant to be an MP. So um his efforts should be here in the country. Not that I think anybody wants him around, which is probably why he thought, oh, let me go all the way over to Australia. But to be appearing on a reality TV show as a celebrity when you're literally famous for fumbling the COVID response or being one of the people responsible for the response as health secretary, which is what he was. Mind you, this man has absolutely no experience in medicine or the medical profession. He has never studied in the medical profession a day in his life. I don't even know if he can do basic first aid, but he was given the role of health secretary for the whole of the United Kingdom during a pandemic. Just shows how corrupt this government is. And Matt Hancock was also, being a man of many hats, given the role of culture secretary back, I think it was 2016, 17. But the reason I bring it up is because it was him, as culture secretary at the time, who cancelled the Leveson 2 inquiry. And that was meant to be the second half of an inquiry into phone hacking. The first half was Leveson 1 into the news of the world, phone hacking of celebrities, companies, and all of the misdemeanors of the British tabloid media. That was Leveson 1. And Leveson 2 was meant to be an extension of that, that looked into police involvement. And perhaps if Leveson 2 had happened and there had been a more thorough investigation, we wouldn't be seeing what we're seeing now with Harry, Elton John, and many other well-known faces, and some lesser known, now taking out another court case. So this is who Matt Hancock is, and off he's going to appear on a reality TV show as a celebrity. I think this cross between politicians and celebrity is quite dangerous. I don't think we should celebritize or, turn politicians into idols. And it just really it's a slap in the face to the many who were lost during the pandemic, a slap in the face of their families, and to the botched response here in the United Kingdom that Hancock was partly responsible for. Okay, I'm very sorry. I do have a bit of a cough and a cold today. So if I suddenly go on mute, it's because I'm sneezing. Good your comments. Hello, if you're just joining the chat. Anna, love your Halloween costume. Oh no, that wasn't my Halloween costume. That wasn't mine. That was someone else's, but I thought it was awesome, so I just had to share it. Oh, that wasn't my costume, y'all. I do not take credit for that amazing costume. And I bet that dude can pull it off by being a doctor in the USA. Who Hancock? I mean, I don't even think he would have been put in that position at all in the US. I mean, like I have my criticisms of Fauci, but he is actually a qualified doctor. How do you give someone a health position if they probably don't even have a first aid certificate? That's mental. That's corruption right there. And that's the level of corruption that we're facing here. Okay, so there's that. Also some added commentary on the appointments of certain people in the Tory government. Now, Preeti is no longer Home Secretary. It's another individual. I think her name is Suella Braverman, something like that. So it should be her picture there. But Brown History on Instagram posted this picture with a caption that I thought really just like summed up how I feel about this situation with the Tories and certain people of color who have been put at the forefront of the party. And they said, it cannot be a coincidence that the most racist immigration policy agenda has been delivered by a procession of Asian Home Secretaries. It is almost impossible to imagine a white politician proposing to deport immigrants to Rwanda, but Preeti Patel and now this other lady whose parents were Ugandan Indian could get away with such draconian measures without being accused of racism. And this is what a lot of people have said. It's like these people are being used as faces and puppets to deliver this agenda so that the party doesn't get accused of racism. They can hide behind their brownness. And Brown History goes on to say, it was also not an accident that the most outspoken defender of Britain's whitewashed school curriculum, Kemi Badenoch, who's the black lady there, whose family is Nigerian and who in her time as Equalities Minister used a Black History Month speech to defend Britain's colonial record and declare it illegal for schools to talk about white privilege. It's a terrible irony that the more diverse the cabinet gets, the more danger black and brown citizens find themselves in. I am truly terrified at the prospect of a Sunak premiership because anything becomes possible once this Conservative government's Prime Minister is brown. So please do not celebrate. This is certainly a case when diversity is the opposite of racial progress. And that's pretty much how I felt from the beginning. I know for some black and brown people, that is not the popular opinion. They want to use this as a time to celebrate, but I just personally can't see it that way. Especially being on this platform and seeing the way Meghan was treated and knowing that some of those orders came from some of the highest places in the land. Official Lauren Brown, it's strange to see that job given to him, but that's similar to the US, where the last president gave the position of HDU director to a man who's never planned an urban environment ever. Was that. Wait, I think I remember his name. It was a black guy, right? The guy who's meant to be a surgeon? That's the guy you're talking about, right? If I remember correctly. I forget his name. He speaks really slowly. Um, but yeah, that's what's happening in the United Kingdom. Let's go see if there's any of your comments. Yes, Ben Carson. That was the guy. That was the guy right there. And people who are immigrants have been speaking about this and how they're feeling very unwelcomed here. One lady saying, "I'm an immigrant. I have paid a fortune in fees, done the test, and jumped through the hostile hoops for the right to live, work, and pay tax in the UK. I have the skills the UK desperately needs. Braverman's hostility towards immigrants has made me want to leave. I know I'm not alone." Someone else saying, "Couldn't do it in 2016 because of family, but have been wanting to leave the UK since the moment I heard of the referendum results that morning. Absolute masterclass in making foreigners feel unwelcome. Have now quit my job and will finally be getting out as requested. Hope you enjoy your Brexit." And I do try to have a balanced view on the idea of immigration. Obviously, as somebody who benefited greatly from emigrating to this country via my parents, but I don't think the way to go about this is to be hostile, and you cannot ignore the way in which foreign policies of the West actually creates a lot of the immigrant crises that we're seeing. And it's just incredible that you can have politicians um, like Braverman standing there being so hostile towards people who just want a better life without commenting on how actually the UK's foreign policy often decimates those countries to where they feel they have to leave. It's very underhanded and very disingenuous. Valerie, these brown and black people are known as gatekeepers. They will be used until they are no longer needed. Yes. And this is what usually happens. You saw that with Stacey Dash. Choda Sisi, so M. Hancock took contract funds for COVID. He has quite a horrible checkered past during the country's demise. Yes. And the reason, oh, I almost forgot to mention, he was kicked out was because he was having kissing sessions with a woman that was not his wife, and it was caught on CCTV. And now he's off to the jungle to make more money. Anyway, back to royal news. Let's get to the royal news now. Eamon Holmes. Child, Karma knows everybody's address. Karma knows everybody's address. So this is the guy who back in April said that he hoped that Harry and Meghan would be thrown over the balcony at the Jubilee. He said this on daytime TV. Incited, yeah, pretty much murder on royals on daytime TV. And just yesterday, he has apparently fractured his shoulder falling down the stairs. So he needs another operation. He needed another operation for a back issue. And now he's going to have another one because he fell down the stairs just weeks after spinal surgery. Keep the blessed ones out of your mouth is all I have to say about this. Hello, everyone, if you're just joining the chat. Earlier podcast as usual because I'm going to go get my body slammed in a few hours. Hi, Joan Hickey. Thanks for joining. Hi, Faith. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, official. Yeah, the irony is deep. I actually made a TikTok about this that went semi-viral. I think I'm gonna repost it on my channel because it was 'cause it was so hilarious. Uh, yeah, Gabby, God don't like ugly. I'm telling you, it's like something bad keeps happening to every single person that came after Harry and Meghan. Like, can you imagine what's gonna happen to uh Piss Moron? Oh, thank you so much, Black Queen. Yes, I did have a splendid day. Oh, coffee or tea on you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all too. Yeah, I went for brunch with the girlies on Sunday, and then yesterday I was at my mum's house drinking wine and stuffing my face with Nando's, as you do. Miss Levy Hemmings. Yeah, I feel sorry for the stairs as well. Those poor stairs. Hi Aura. Thank you so much for the happy birthday. All right, so that happened. Also, just a couple of hours ago, this was posted. So Fab Kasi on Instagram posted a picture of herself and Meghan and another lady. I don't know who the other lady is, but it was her and Meghan. Where I don't know for what I don't know, but as posted by Duchess of Sussex, aka Jessica, on Instagram, she explained that Cassiopeia Moore, affectionately known as Fab Kasi, is a principal at Campbell Hall. She's an entrepreneur, life coach, and host of her Instagram talk show. She is based in California. She has shared, so she shared these pictures of herself and she captioned it on her page. Once upon a time with Meghan Markle, what a reminder of the magic that lives inside of us all and how freeing it is to be true to who we are. The time is now. And Fab Kasi is known for having a vibrant personality that instantly fills a room. In addition to her work in education, she keeps the creativity and conversation flowing, speaking at women's empowerment events, working with influential voices within the entertainment and public space, and mentoring young girls. So, exactly the type of person that Meghan would align herself with. She currently hosts The Time Is Now, that's her Instagram live show, that inspires diverse women to come together and thrive. And so she and her guests challenge themselves to tap into their inner truths and explore ways to turn that into a positive forward momentum within their world. Amazing. Isn't that what Archetypes and Archwell is doing? And she is also the director of Tina, Angels, and Richard's Warriors. I think that's Tina Knowles's um charity. I think. So I'm excited to, hear whatever it is they were doing together. Or I don't know, maybe they just went out for a girly lunch. But I don't see Meghan meeting with a woman who's doing such phenomenal things just to lunch. I am sure that there was some business that was talked about as well, and we will find out in due time, I'm sure. Um, yes, cookies and cream. The karma's only begun for him and all of them. Like seriously, all they have to do is keep Harry and Meghan out of their mouths. Just leave them alone. Hi Joan, thanks for joining us. All right, so that's that. A bit of nice positive news. Also, The Crown released another trailer a couple of hours ago, but it was a trailer that was mixed in with interviews of all the actors and some of the creatives. And one of the things that they explained in this trailer was how this season of The Crown really delves deep into just how unpopular the monarchy was at this time. And so it's becoming more and more obvious, I think, why the monarchy is so nervous about this season. It does seem like they are going quite deep into just what a problematic period this was. And These are some of the screenshots from the new trailer. The Queen giving her infamous speech where she talks about the time being an annus horribilis. Um, Another one saying no institution is beyond reproach. And of course, a clip of the Diana interview brought to life where she says there were three of us in this marriage. And so we are going to get the Martin Bashir interview, and it would appear that they have not managed to censor that from this season. So it should be very interesting. Lauren Brown, what if she and Beyonce are doing a collab for Tina's charity, or even just a picture together again? Wouldn't surprise me, because doesn't Tina's charity, don't they actually have a ball once a year? I remember seeing Bey dressed up with uh Blue Ivy quite elaborately at what I think was an event for the charity. So I'm sure we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw something. Oh, thank you so much, Ellen Vernon. Much appreciated. Yes, it feels wonderful, absolutely wonderful to be another year older. I think it is a blessing to age. Joyce, the Netflix trailer I feel was good. The royal family want to hide documented facts about them. Yes. Okay. So, on to this. Let's drag. Let's drag the pig through the mud that they want to swim around in. Toilet bowels. Toilet bowels. This guy really put his foot in his mouth. So he was on Good Morning Britain. You've probably seen this clip already. And he basically said the quiet parts out loud. It's Meghan I'm after. Those were his words. They were having yet another debate about stripping the Sussexes of their title. I don't know how many times we're going to have this debate about stripping the Sussexes of their titles, because we all know that that's just not going to happen. It's just a narrative that they keep spinning to, keep the royalists giddy. They're not going to strip them of their titles. And if they are going to strip them of their titles, as a fan who is petty, sorry, Harry and Meghan. Sorry to my faves, but as a fan who is petty, I dare them to do it, because that would be yet another nail in the monarchy's coffin. But Toilet Bowels was on Good Morning Britain, and he said that it's Meghan he's after. He outrightly said it. And this is a guy who the Mail themselves had to pay damages over a libel in another book that he had written. So this is someone who's been involved in drama before, and it's just another one in the string of royal rodents who are trying to incite hatred against Meghan for their own financial gain, and I believe with the blessing of the institution. Because there's no way that this hate campaign can continue without that. And this is the second time in the last few months where we have heard one of these royal rodents making an outward threat like this. It was only, a couple of months ago, maybe only a couple of weeks ago, actually. You had Valentine Lowe talking about, oh, Harry might come back if Meghan doesn't have breath in her body, i.e., she dies. Literally wishing death on this woman, and for what? And you got to wonder, where are they getting the confidence to say such grotesque things about anyone, let alone, a member of the royal family? Oh, I tell you. Thank you so much, Marjorie. Yes, it was a lovely day. Thank you. Elaine, this man should be locked up. I have reported Tom Bauer to the Metropolitan Police and Ofcom. Yeah, I mean, can you imagine if me or you went on national TV, went on social media, stood in the middle of the street and said, "Oh, it's this person I'm after," outwardly making a threat to someone, we'd be in trouble. So how was he allowed to do this on national TV? It's because there are powers that be that are allowing this. And who are those powers that be? Those involved in the invisible contract. That's who. That's who. Dr. Shola, as she always does, came out and said of the situation, Tom Bauer said it's Meghan I'm after, while making money peddling lies, abuse, and inciting racist, misogynist, and sexist hate against her. He gets away with it because the British media and public like it. Prince Harry was right. The haters won't stop until she's dead. May they die first. Amen to that. Because if you're going to incite death on someone, um, dig a grave for yourself also. It is just the most disgusting thing that you can do to wish death on someone. And everything that they're wishing on Harry and Meghan is coming back to them. I mean, look at Eamon Holmes. Throw them off a balcony and he falls down the stairs and now has to have a second surgery on top of the first surgery that he was meant to have. So they need to just stop, leave Harry and Meghan alone. At this point, um, they're fighting a losing battle, or they're fighting with themselves. They're fighting with the war. Because what is there even to win here? Um, they need to just mind their business. Bernardine, if they're stripping them of their titles, they need to put Meghan's name back on Archer's birth certificate instead of Duchess of Sussex. Yeah, I mean, there was even an attempt to wipe her name away from her own son's birth certificate, which means that there probably would have also been an attempt to wipe Archie's name and Lily's names away from the history books altogether. And I think that's why there was so much commotion and drama with the kids' titles. And he's not making much book off his book with all, sorry, he's not making much money off his book with all of the hateful lies. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they have now brought him back on TV, I mean, his book came out ages ago and he's still trying to push it. That's how you know the book has not done well. And even now with them bringing him back on, I haven't seen it in the top 100. Have you? But you know who's number one? Who's number one? This guy. Harry is number one. And in multiple languages. Joyce. These people are being backed by someone, and yes, there are powers higher up that are allowing it, of course. Elaine, he should be arrested immediately. I think so too. Cookies and cream. I wish they'd stop the asinine narrative about stripping the Sussexes of their titles. Strip them for what reason? What have they done wrong? What about Fergie's titles? What about Andrew's title? Exactly. I feel like there's this steady rotation of lies that come around every so often because they just have nothing to say. So it's the titles, it's the so-called bullying allegations of which we don't want to um release the reports. It's Meghan's earrings. It's Meghan made Kate cry, or the 100th version of why Kate was crying. What's the other one that they like to bring up? There's like a list of them. Harry the hostage. Harry is miserable. I mean, the fact that I can actually name them all, it's like you know exactly what it is they're going to say next because they just keep saying it over and over and over and over again. It's becoming a song. So let me just go up your comments before we move on to the next thing. We're going to finish off with archetypes, of course. Trinette, I said this on Instagram. People don't understand chromatic justice. It will just come back to bite them. God help them all. Yes. Valerie, apparently, Good Morning Britain had a lot of complaints. I also feel that Karma is ready to deal with them. Yes. Nalisa, then they expect Harry and Meghan with kids to go to the coronation with all these threats that are making against Meghan. Well, do you know what I think they would want? They would probably want Harry to come with the kids and for Meghan to stay at home. Because that's always the message that they put. Oh, Harry can come. Leave the wifey at home. Just so dehumanizing to Meghan. Rochelle, Elon Musk announced a monthly charge for Twitter blue check users because he needs to make his money back. Listen, when it comes to this whole Elon Musk and Twitter situation, I think people are just giving Elon way too much power and they're giving way too much energy to this. While I understand that Twitter has become a huge platform, a huge platform for people to get their voices out, and there's a lot of good that has come. There's also a lot of bad that has come, and I think we all need to remember that we did still have a life before Twitter. For me personally, I had Twitter for about a year or so when it first came out. And then after that, I deleted it. My only interaction with it was through my work as a social media manager. And I've only just got back on Twitter because it's just a good place to get royal news. But I have no other purpose for it in my life. And if they want to charge people to get blue checks, I don't feel that I need that blue check to be validated. And if they want to charge people to use it, I will happily deactivate my account. that's, that's all I have to say about that. I think people are just giving it too much power. Right. Let's finish up your comments before we go on to archetypes. Did everybody listen to this week's podcast? What did we make of it? Jeanette, you're thinking of leaving Twitter? Yeah. I mean, I don't really have any use for it other than just listening to what squaddies have to say and seeing what the breaking royal news is, which I could probably get on Google Alerts or in other places. Black Queen, the so-called 17 lies that Meghan told in the Oprah interview. We are still waiting for them to see what the lies are. I actually saw a list of those lies, and do you know what? Maybe in tomorrow's podcast, I will get the list of them and we can debunk all of them because they're so easily debunked. And some of them, do you know what they did in the Daily Fail? Some of the so-called lies, they didn't list them as lies, they listed them as over exaggerations. Truly pathetic. Yes, Marina, I agree. They should just ignore Elon. He's an attention seeker. His father actually made a lot of his early fortune because of emerald mines. So this whole narrative that they paint about him being self-made, it's a lie. All right, let's end with some positives. Archetypes. So, this week we had a surprise. Was not expecting at all Sophie Trudeau. Sophie Trudeau is many things. But to most people, she is known as the First Lady of Canada. Oh, I don't know if Canada actually calls her First Lady, but that's what I'll refer to her as. She is the wife of Justin Trudeau. And yes, her and Meghan have known each other for some time. That's her, Meghan, and also Jessica Maroney at an event in a photo booth taking pictures. And I loved this episode. not just for the subject matter, but once again, and what I've loved about the whole of the Archetypes series is Meghan reclaiming who she is from the narrative that has been created about her. And who she is somebody who very much had a life, connections, well before she ever entered the Honourable Mafia. And there is a picture of her with Justin Trudeau, um, because Meghan was involved in One Young World. And so she met Justin Trudeau. There's also another picture of her, like, with Obama, but it was like a very brief, like, hello. I think he just walked past. Point being that she did have a life and some pretty impressive connections before she ever became a royal. And I truly do believe that in one way or another, if you hadn't heard of Rachel Meghan Markle, you would have known who she was. Even if she'd never married into the royal family, I do believe that Meghan would have um, really become like a household name outside of even her fan base on Suits. So it's great to see her reclaiming the narrative again of who she is. And one of the things that we learnt, because there are no leaks in Montecito, was that Sophie actually went to Montecito to hang out with Archie and Lily. And apparently Lily is now walking. Like, how amazing that the wife of the Canadian Prime Minister can just roll up to Montecito and just enjoy time at the pool, giggles and wine, and nobody knows about it. And I feel like every single time Meghan speaks, like we find out a little bit more of what's been happening that the British tabloids don't know about. And I love it for Harry and Meghan. Like, this is what privacy is. Being able to have your private time with your friends, with your family, and no one peering into your life. And so we heard about them having some girly time together. We heard that Sophie Trudeau sent her messages while she was pregnant, some, inspirational, motivational notes, and that, she did have a good support system, and she has had a good support system despite all of the negativity from the British tabloids. And I think that's what gets to them the most, that they can't break through that barrier of support that the Sussexes have. And it is so wide reaching, from literally first ladies and presidents to celebrities and other notable figures. And let's not forget that Harry and Meghan were involved in Vax Live, which Justin Trudeau was also involved in. So many might not be a fan of Justin Trudeau himself. Sure, there are people that have their criticisms, but as far as his wife's conversation with Meghan, I thought it was a very good episode. I think it's something that a lot of women and mothers can relate to. The whole topic of good wife, good mum, bad mum, and what is expected of you from society versus the actual realities and struggles that you go through as a mother. And you're expected, I think, as a woman to um almost let go of a lot of what you are and who you are when you become a mum. And sometimes that means glossing over the parts of motherhood that can be taxing, because you don't want to be, seen as not doing it right, or, not loving your kids. And I think that women should be allowed to talk about, the difficulties of motherhood. It's not all, you know, uh, flowers and cupcakes and, all glittery and sparkles. Like, motherhood is a job. And I think it's good that once again, Meghan is opening up this space for women to talk about it and to talk about the pressures of being a mother and a wife. And I feel like when we are more honest about our struggles, we can then come up with solutions. And I think what happens is instead women hold their struggles close to their chests because they don't want to feel like they're failing. Um, Lottie, I just love the podcast. I've listened to it 3 times already. Yeah. And we also got to hear Doria's voice briefly in this podcast. And I like the fact that she also bought I forgot the lady's name. I think it's the black woman. But she did have a lesbian come on and talk about um a marriage and a relationship from her perspective as well. So I love that she's opening up the floor for women from different backgrounds and from the LGB community as well, so we can hear things from their perspective because these conversations do tend to happen solely from the heteronormative perspective. And she also had Pamela Adlon on, and this is the lady who Meghan said in her Variety magazine that when she went to Gloria Steinem's birthday, that Pamela was there and greeted her and made her feel so welcome. And this was, just after the Oprah interview, and she hadn't really been out the house, and she was nervous about entering a room by herself, and how grateful she was for being welcomed in that moment, and how she'll never forget that. So yes, Plali, it was very intriguing and educational. And I don't think this was just good for um, women who are already mothers and wives to have this conversation, but also women who aren't mothers and wives to be able to hear from those women about their struggles. Um, because if you don't know the other side and you don't necessarily know of the struggles, you kind of have a romanticized view about what marriage and motherhood is. And with the right person, it can be the most wonderful thing. But even then, it still has its struggles. And I think it's good to talk about them instead of just holding everything in. See, Mac, I laugh when I thought about how the Sussexes were excluded from the state dinner and how many people probably reached out to her and they had a good laugh at the unroyal clan. Perhaps. Yeah, I think it's actually a good thing that they never went to that state dinner at the Queen's funeral now. Yes, Oro, great mother-daughter chemistry. That was adorable. And I also wanted to read a poem that Megan had read out that I thought was just so powerful. Um, give me a sec. Um, so this is by Dr. Shefali um, Sabari. And this just resonated with me so much, especially being that I just turned 32 yesterday, that I just had to read it again. So the poem reads: There comes a time in the life of a woman when she discards her old ways like tossed shoes in the garbage, when she shreds her list of shoulds and obligations, and when impossible expectations are burned in an incinerator. There comes a time in the life of a woman when the approval of others, once jewels, now turn to pennies in her sock, when the hunt for another is now replaced by a hunt for herself, and when parental tentacles of tradition no longer define her truth. And the poem goes on. It's quite a long poem, but just that first verse spoke to me so much, and I'm sure it will speak to many of you. All right, so that's pretty much all I had to say. Let me know what you thought about the podcast, and I will just finish with the comments as usual, and we will call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone. Great to be back on the podcast again. I do need a break every now and again, and I think that day was the perfect time to take the break, but I do also miss it when I don't do the podcast. I do miss you all, but thank you so much as always. All right, let's end with your comments. Yes, Emily. So it was a sweet surprise to hear Dora's voice. Gemini, there's some serious pathology in the royal family and among their courtiers and rota. There is indeed. And somebody needs to explore that pathology because for real, it's disturbing. Truly disturbing. Cookies and cream. Meghan was already a rich, educated, articulate, innovative, confident, independent woman before she met Prince Harry. The on-royals and their racist thugs always try to downplay her achievements. Yes. And now she gets to reclaim all that she was and fully become everything that she was meant to be now that she's left that institution. Plally, the ease of which Meghan speaks to everyone, she makes her guests feel at ease and welcome. Yes. Joan, love the podcast. Being a mum of 6. Wow. That's amazing. 6 kids. I could barely keep my pet fish alive. So, really, round of applause to you, Joan Hickey. You are a superwoman. Wendy, I think Meghan if Meghan hadn't married Harry, Harry would be working in politics or at the UN or on humanitarian causes for sure. Yeah. I think he would have found his own way. He was already there with Invictus. It's just I think Meghan just gave him the final push of confidence he needed to have in himself. Marina, I love the inclusiveness of this podcast. Meghan is giving space to all of us. Yes, indeed. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe button before you leave, everyone. Oh, Rochelle, don't forget to vote in your state election and People's Choice Awards. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for the reminder. Yes, keep voting for Archetypes, please. All right, who's going to get the last word of the day? Oh, thank you so much, Dina. Thank you. Happy belated birthday. Many more to come. Be blessed. Thank you. You be blessed too. Thank you so much for your generosity. Oh, thank you, Tristan Charles. Thank you, everyone. Marilyn, I found Sophie to be very outspoken and surprisingly candid about her beliefs. I enjoyed listening to her. Yes. Yes, Cookies and Cream. The poem is beautiful. I only read one paragraph, but definitely go listen to the podcast if you haven't already and listen to the whole poem because it's truly beautiful. All right, Amelia, I'm going to give you the last word of the day. Have a blessed day, everyone. Yes, have a blessed day indeed. I'm going to go off to judo now, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Ciao.
There's no use in looking back. Gotta laugh or gotta live. 'Cause I'm so over the past, and I'm living it fast. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like a drum. Let me be your only one. Do you feel what I feel? I'm addicted to that sound. Turn it loud, just make hours until the dawn. The night is young, so I wish. So close your eyes and set it free. Underneath the strobe lights, ready for a crazy night. I can hear your heartbeat banging loud like the drum. Let me be your only one. You feel what I feel. I'm addicted to the sound. Turn it loud, just make it play. When the love is all around, dream away with the music. I'm
I just had a bit. Is it September 12th?
13th, sir.
Oh God, I'm the wrong date. 13th?
Yes, sir.
You sound 12 earlier.
Where did I go to? I was something 10th. Oh God, I hate this.
Oh, look, it's going everywhere. Hang on. Has anybody got a job?
Where is the man?
Oh, look, it's everywhere.
Can't bear this bloody thing. What do we do? Everyone's stinking.